for show purposes and things quiet, so when people are walking around back there.
Verify that they will roll up.
They will roll up. It's just, yeah, it's like these, they will roll up, but they're not gonna be easy.
No, I've seen some that have harder edge.
Yeah, no,
And
these
they
are
don't
the,
roll up.
yeah, these are the same, these are just like, pretty similar, very
So,
similar.
are you making a motion?
Well, the proposal was there, I wanted to see if anybody, what people thought about it. I can make the motion, that I'd like to be able to look at purchasing those. I do have the other things that I talked about with the extension cords. I've got those lined up, I just need to push the button on those. But,
And that's gonna
and if we do this, then I would do it all at once, but, so, does anybody have,
I have a question before we, okay, is 6 enough? Because usually we use those on the top of the stage behind too, not
No.
just the floor.
well, these would just be strictly for the purposes of the floor, if we need something quiet up on the stage itself, and we have small pieces of carpet and stuff like that we could put down in temporary there. But,
This is in
General
the
purpose.
course of being able to run, electrical.
Art
cord.
or
and then,
inside.
well, it wouldn't be underneath necessarily, that's what the black cord is for.
I have my hand up.
Yes, ma'am.
When we get a minute. Just a question, I don't know what we're talking about in terms of time frames or where you're planning to get them from. I just wondered if this is anything that we could or should ask either Walmart or Target to sponsor for us.
I
Wouldn't be there.
haven't ever seen them available in.
It doesn't mean they don't have it online or something like that. Yeah.
And if they don't, then, that's a different thing, but it's $1,000 at least, so.
Yeah, no, I agree
But,
with you.
that's gonna take 6 months and that's counterproductive, so that's why I.
Yeah.
But I would be willing to approach the local stores and see what they will do.
Yeah, I can send you the information, Kathy, if you want to reach out to them.
We gotta make sure we get the kind we want.
Yeah, like I said, I'll send you the specs on
Okay.
what we're looking at.
So these new rugs are a good idea.
Let's vote on the cost in case they won't, then we don't have to come back and have another meeting.
Yeah.
Good.
So do you?
So it's roughly $900 for 6 of them.
Plus,
Well, yeah.
Do you need a motion or?
Just a
And
question,
this, yeah.
who is it that supplies the rugs like we have in Blau?
I know Randall bought those, but
But there's
there's a company out there.
Ameripride.
Well, no, it's not Ameripride anymore.
Well, they changed their name, but they are.
Anorak.
Yep.
Anorak.
Yeah.
Anorak. Anorak.
That'd be someone to approach, I suppose.
Yeah, they,
Yeah, we can. approach
Well,
them.
you don't buy from them typically, when you
They're
rent,
basically-
and then they switch them out after they become dirty, but then somebody has to be here when
yeah.
they're ready to switch out.
Or they have to have access to the building.
Just an idea.
It's not, yeah,
You're
I
better
thought
off
about
owning
that. It'd be nice here when we have snow, to have somebody who can take them out and clean them, get them.
And that's something we
Get
could
the
take
salt
into
sand.
account to ask them how much it would be to rent so many rugs. For the cost and how long a rug will last, because the bags do deteriorate, rate, so they will replace them. So maybe it is a possibility.
I don't like that idea for backstage stuff, because there's too much chance that things will be damaged
Other stuff.
with other things being dragged or cut back there. Paint. I would rather not rent for backstage. Rent for out here, not a problem.
So, motion, you have a second.
Are you motion or so
I can make the motion.
Okay.
We
Then do
purchase six runners, hallway runners that are 3x10s, $149 each.
Okay, there's a
And
motion
I'll
to purchase six rugs.
I'll second it.
Polly has seconded. All right. So pending any further discussion, do we? All right. So all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Any abstain?
You did get the vote.
Yeah, now you did.
Got it. All right, up next, there is an ad request for C-STAN convention booklet. All right, and Nancy, looks like Nancy was the first one who approached this. So C-STAN is a speech theater association of Dakota, and they're wondering if Constable Affairs is interested in an ad in their program. A quarter page is $50, half page is $100, and a full page is $175. So they would also put the ad on the conference website. I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Would it reach the people immediately here? Maybe, maybe not, but it wouldn't hurt.
And we're supporting other theater groups too, so.
Have we done this in the past?
No, this is a first.
We have purchased ads and booklets for other theater groups, such as,
Summer theater, the symphony we've done. Symphony opera
It's
company.
similar.
Similar.
But I would move that we approve the ad, to be determined.
Well, Nancy put in a recommendation, to recommend either the quarter or half.
Okay, and then my motion is, for the half page.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion from Ken and a second from Asa. Any pending discussion?
Who's going to do the,
Our ad person.
we don't necessarily.
We don't have a ad person. We can.
What is the ad we used in the other?
We can approach the people that normally have and see if they have.
So we could, do we want to amend it pending, finding someone to create? the
Would it
ad?
be the same
Well-
ad?
Unless it, we use the same one for.
You know, what? Because the ads that you sent specify certainly, congratulations to summer theater or, great show or opening nights.
That's all you have to change.
And is this something where if we're doing a half page, do we want to put in what our upcoming seasons?
I don't think we have to, we can vote on doing this. I think we just have to then make sure we don't let it fall between the cracks of assuming somebody's gonna pick it up and run with it. So if, Ed, you're willing to go to other people or go to like Brittany and Courtney and maybe even Tracy, and say, hey, this is the information we need, this is what we need to do. And so it doesn't fall between the cracks. But I think the vote is fine.
When do we need it?
That's what I was guessing, because it doesn't give a hard date, it says they need early September.
Yeah, that's when the
That's when the convention is, so it doesn't give a date of when they would do it.
But sooner better than.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
sooner. So we have a motion to do a half page ad, we have a second. Any other questions? All right, all those in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Any abstain? All right, the motion carries. We will do a half page ad for C-STAN. I will approach Courtney and Brittany, and in case neither of them would like to do it, we will also approach Christiana and see. All right, up next, a request for a special meeting to bring new members up to date on the Lockwood Sod project. Tim? You have made the initial proposal for a special meeting?
Yeah, my thoughts on it is, it's far too big a conversation for a general business kind of meeting. It needs a forum of its own to be able to put everything out, let everybody have a chance to make their say and stuff like that, so that we can look at it. I'm not looking necessarily that we vote on it at that meeting, but to come up with ideas and then be able to bring everything, try and consolidate an actual proposal, so that when we come to the general meeting, the people are knowledgeable of what's going on. New people have had a chance to see what's going on, and understand the project of the whole, what the goals are. Dynamics have changed a lot. Cost of materials have changed a lot. Supply ability has changed a lot, so, where things are at the moment is, it's kind of a little bit up in the air, so it's just to get a clear understanding, find out where everybody is, what everybody's comfortable with, and be able to then articulate it in a way that when we vote on it in a general meeting, everybody's consensus.
Well, what are we voting on?
Well,
It's not a vote,
It's not a vote.
we need
It's a-
to bring up a date, we need to
Date,
create a
yeah.
date.
Oh,
If-
okay.
If we are looking for a more informal setting, to just get together and talk this over, and then make sure I get a second on that, we would be perfectly willing to host it at our house.
okay.
Do you cook, Kathy?
Sometimes.
Okay.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Did we have a specific date in mind already?
I did not have a date. I was looking at, I just said after Memorial Weekend, just to get past all that fun stuff. But we,
I should know that the next 2 weeks are gonna be not good times for us.
Okay, so.
Did we want to make
I
a,
want to go
did we want to,
Yeah.
do we want to make a further discussion on it by email to set a date?
Can you send out email what timeframe works for you guys or what would work for you
yeah, pretty much anything after.
after the review?
so after 4th of July, or,
Then Ken, will you and Kathy come up with several dates for other people to look at?
We can do that.
And then we can finalize particulars about whether it's gonna be a potluck or just a coffee or something like that.
It's like after the 27th, we're wide open.
my other thing is, it could be more than one discussion. I don't know how long we want to go. We want to set a time limit so that, we're going to talk for an hour, and when an hour is up, we're going to be
Well,
done because
First, we
we're at,
need
but,
to have a date.
right, I got that, right, but I'm just saying.
So
it may be
figure
a
an
couple
hour,
meetings.
whatever day.
Yeah.
At
Maybe
minimum,
Figure it
an
out.
hour.
an hour, but could be 2 hours, and we say that's going to be our timeline. When we get that mark, we stop.
Or we come to blows and beat on each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, does the week of the 27th work for you?
27th of
One
what?
moment.
October.
I'll just pull up my calendar on my phone, which I
June.
have, so.
Another 27th.
We have a budget meeting on the 27th, and I'm having a producer meeting on the 30th. And Wednesdays are not good for me.
Even holiday, I think it's
Too far into July.
Cleaning house.
Can you
Laura.
brag that a little bit more?
Yeah,
It'll be in
I'm
California,
not really
actually.
available until, Friday, the 1st of July. Sorry, I have, on the 27th, 28th, and 29th, I'm gonna be in, Fargo, Ken, for those Rushmore meetings.
okay.
So, the 1st of July is my first open day. I'm also open,
How about the
probably
7th?
not the 4th, but the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th,
How about the
or
7th?
9th.
What day?
7th?
No,
Thursday?
Tim's got, he's an artist downtown.
Ah.
And we have
But
a
the 8th, yeah,
finance
but
meeting
the-
on the 8th. We have a finance meeting on the 8th, because
Friday?
otherwise we'd be meeting on the 4th of July.
Well, how does the 5th sound? Is that too close to Independence Day?
Are you good with a Tuesday?
Fifth is a Tuesday.
I can pull it.
I just know I'm not available with basically the majority of that first week of July.
If your passport
Yep.
ever comes in.
If I do get my passport in the mail, then I can go on my trip to Canada.
Somebody didn't
family.
pay attention a couple of months.
It's at the 7-week mark roughly, so,
Well, that should be soon.
yeah, they said 5 to 7. Okay.
Yeah, I got my report, so.
That says that grant may not be going to.
We'll see.
Okay, let's do an email with a potential date and at least one alternate.
All right, up next, we have the food truck festival. They have offered, for us to have a vendor booth. I am not sure what the cost is. The only thing I know so far is that, the food truck festival is August 28th. Do you have any interest in that?
Yeah, I got it.
It's 11
Ah,
AM to
it is.
6 PM.
Yep,
It's a
11 to
Sunday.
6.
And Brittany told me that you can only have 6 people working your booth, so it would mean that people would probably have to work about a 4-hour shift.
What do we?
It looks like,
Or you just
minimum-
pay to get in.
Yeah, otherwise, the minimum
You get
cost
six
is
free.
$75 for a vendor registration fee. And we can also do a non-sales vendor booth, which only us, and that's $50.
The question becomes,
I don't know. I'm not wild about that.
would we want to try and sell passes or tickets, and we have to pay the higher price? And do we have the facility to be able to sell tickets off-site?
Yeah.
And then the next question is, are there enough people to man the booth? 6 people who are willing to,
I would suggest it probably makes just as much sense to hand out information directly to the website where they can purchase.
It is, yeah, I mean, that is a good idea, because then it gets people into the habit of going to the website. So if maybe they want to see the upcoming show, that's great, and then, you know, if you hear that, hey, I want the show is great, I want to go see another one.
One of the things you can do is print up a card with a QR code on it, put your phone on it, put your light right.
Or we can just do a sign at the booth that has one.
or both?
Or both.
Or both, yeah.
I know it was really great, with the cards when we did a Magic Con, where the card was also a coupon for a free drink or popcorn.
We have set up for next weekend.
Do you have any further discussion on that? Any other questions? Do you have motions? Is something you want to sit on for a little bit? It looks like it is due on July 30th. So we will
We have another-
We
another
have
month.
another meeting.
So if you want to come up with some of these.
So you vote to table it then?
Yep, we can go ahead and table that. All right. Up next, we have participation at the Scandinavian Center Midsummer Festival. Yeah, I'm not sure if Brittany's around. I know we have the majority agreed to bring back the Three Billy Goat Drop. It was a big hit for kids last year.
Great time.
Everyone who performed it was going to reprise the roles. So I'm not sure.
The signage that year was the only one.
that they were willing to reprise their roles.
The sign is the only one that is here to be able to verify that she did say that she'd be able to. We have,
What's on the team?
we will be having basically a canopy. We have goat masks that fits the color and then cut out and stick on a popsicle stick and then run around. flipping on everything.
Bumping into.
Not
They
our
loved
problem.
it last year, and boy, I'll tell you, my hand was hurting after a while, I cutting all that out. It was hot, but a lot of people really seemed to enjoy it, and literally, we were taking down the tent, and the person in charge was running over there going, "You gotta come back next year," and so,
And they did approach it.
I guess,
It's hot, it's gonna be hot again, 59 degrees.
Yeah.
I,
Figures, no.
the biggest question is gonna be volunteers. So that'll be, I think the break, I guess, something.
it's the
Next
June
Sunday.
18th.
Yeah,
Sunday.
next Sunday.
Saturday.
Saturday. What? We will be there from the morning, probably around 10 o'clock in the morning until around 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night. The shows are at 1:15, 2:15, and 3:15. If things peter out shortly after the show, we're probably okay to leave.
We did
You
it
can
early last time.
you cannot tear your booth down prior to 5.
Okay? That's
So anytime after
about-
5, you can take off, but then you gotta be out of the park by 10.
Basically, if you can come in at any time, even for just an hour or a couple of hours to cut masks out, it would be appreciated.
Yeah,
It would
We
be
just-
appreciated.
we gave them the whole sheet so they covered it.
Just know if you do plan to volunteer parking, maybe,
Yep.
so they're
And they
encouraging
got
people to
work.
park at Jim Hill.
Are you-
Yeah. Yep, come down to our
Right
parking.
down here.
And then they're doing work on 11, right in front of this, media
Yes,
center.
they are.
Yep, super fun. And all fun. So, just things to keep in mind if you do choose to volunteer.
Well, I don't think we're gonna set up times, it's basically.
Yeah, whatever you remember.
Show up.
Yeah,
If
just
you
come
can
by.
make it, just come by.
It's not a paid admission thing for.
No.
No,
Oh,
and we're gonna have 2 canopies set up, so we have shade.
I was in town this year.
Probably closer to 9, get them set up. So, we could try to pull work.
Randy Mullen from the Minot Library asked if there could be a pass option similar to Zoo passes. Lynn, you have more information on that.
I don't have a great deal of information, what she's looking for, if anybody has, ever borrowed a pass from the library to go to the zoo or something like that, that's what she was looking for, if we had anything like that. I told her, I didn't know if we could do that because we have such limited shows and, limited seating, and it wasn't just you get in and do whatever you want. You have to rehearse and you have to do all kinds of stuff like that. But it's potentially possible. We could do something like a group ticket, a group comp ticket for a show that maybe it could only be on a certain night, or like perhaps the Thursday for the first show, but I just don't really know enough about how the box office ticketing system
The
works.
biggest limitation is going to be the fact that we sell individual seats for, an individual seat for a very specific night, and it's only good that night.
Yeah, it would be hard to have a
Passes
pass.
that we do are flex passes
Mhm.
that can be used for certain tickets.
But we did do passes for at Amazon for 2 nights before.
But that was a code, like,
We
we
set up,
No, we didn't do that.
was in code.
We didn't have those.
Oh, no, we did preset seats and we had blocked up those seats.
No, people had to call
we had to
and
call,
make the reservation.
But that would be-
But that would be the same thing. I mean, if, say I got the pass from, that said I had option for 5 seats. Okay, I have to call, I have to say that it is the pass from the library, which would be whatever setup we did. And then I couldn't change them for things like that, they would have to be used then. But the big thing is, then that person has to return it to the library. Because we would have no way of tracking if that person maintained the pass to use for the next show or a second set of shows or something like that.
what we could do is we could set it up so that is usable once. So we could basically make a set of passes that they could give out. That's usable for one time for one shot. Kind of a one shot ticket, but they still have to make a reservation.
Well, no, well,
Provide you the code or something.
And they'd have to provide the code, so they could give them a card with code on it at the library, and it would be good for that shop.
So would we have to set this up for each show?
Probably.
Okay.
This isn't a big deal. It really takes me 5 minutes.
I don't know,
Trinity, did you have,
yeah,
you say something?
I don't know if this is feasible, but for Alice, like, on our last dress over, so we have the Dakota Boys and Girls Dance people come, we could always do a pass for, like, the last dress over, so it's not like it's taking over the pictures, like it is another flying, but then it's still kind of like it's really up to people on the computer.
That's a good idea.
And then we have to think about how many seats do we want to do this full restaurant.
I have my hand up too, as
Oh.
in a minute.
Yeah, go ahead, Kathy.
My question just is, Lynn,
Yes.
what is the primary purpose? Why does the library want to have this? I just want to make sure I understand.
It's mostly just an interaction between, downtown groups. It's a way for the library to get people interested in going to other things in the city.
Okay,
And it can be very limited. I know Cognizant used to do a very similar thing with the zoo, and you could have a pass for your family up to 6 people, but they only had 4 passes that they would let go during a month. So the first 4 families that grabbed the pass, and it was a one-time use only, could use it, and then they had to hand it back, and then they couldn't reuse it the next month. So there are limitations we could put on it. If I can tell her that we are interested, then we can develop further
I
plans.
would suggest that we let them know that we're interested in working on it, and let's take some time to brainstorm this and try to
Sounds
figure
great
it out.
to me.
Which fits right in with something that I want to do. I want to get together at some point just to talk about promotions, specifically promoting their shows, and this would be part of it. You know, what can we do, like you and Nancy were brainstorming some ideas, and get some ideas on what kind of things we can do to entice people to
And
come.
I think that's a place where we do have a committee that can handle that. We just have to create a committee and get a chairperson and get it moving.
Yep.
So, but it's something that is an important thing that we should do.
That should happen within the next month or so.
I will let Randy know that we're interested and that we're gonna brainstorm how we can do it.
So, pending any further discussion and pending any motions, we will go ahead and table this item for our next meeting. Okay, there has been a suggestion to officially close the gala committee since the gala has finished. It was an ad hoc committee. Do we have any discussion on that? All right, I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Lenny making the motion, Holly second. Pending any further discussion? All those in favor?
I,
All those against? Any abstained? All right, motion carries. The committee has been officially closed. Lynn would like to set up a meeting for producers class for anyone that's interested.
I'll come back to that.
Since we have decided as a board to start having producers for shows to make sure that certain tasks are being completed, that we are being produced on, I'm sorry, not on the director, or the assistant director. Although everyone has not been a producer, not everyone knows what's supposed to be being produced, and we obviously don't want to have it down to one person where now the whole season, their time is taking up with producing shows. Lynn, do you have anything you'd like to discuss
Thursday
about
the
that?
30th at 6:30 here. That's it.
Thursday,
Thursday
30th?
the 30th, 6:30.
June.
Anybody who's interested is welcome to come. I have the packets created up that would get handed out for each show. And we'll just review that and go over things. Please be aware that this is a beginning handbook. It's fluid. If you come to the meeting and you go, hey, why don't we do XYZ? I am open to updating and change. This is a first step. I used a lot of it working with Ashley. I think it was helpful because it kept track of timeline and stuff like that. And As board members, we are expected to step forward and be those producers and not leave our directors in the lurch, even if they're other board members. Nancy's done it for a long time. I've been doing a lot of it. Heather was going to do a bunch of it. Not here now. She's enjoying a pool that has a waterfall. Yes, Thursday the 30th at 6:30. And then if anybody's interested but can't make that date, call me, text me, email me. I'm more than happy.
I would like to interject at this point that for show, I'm gonna be auditioning at the end of July. We're gonna start rehearsals right at the 1st of August because we opened in September. I'm looking for a producer. I'm looking for an AD. I'm looking for staff. Gonna be, for those who don't know, it's Reputation Ladies Musical. The music is fun. It's a really good show, and I fully expect that,
We have Lazard Steve.
and I fully expect that we are going to draw a huge crowd, I really do. Just because it has such name recognition. So it's going to take someone to do the food and that kind of thing. So,
Okay, moving on. General cleanup project weekend or day, front room items you can take downstairs, little rooms, realignment, replants, etc. This is not an uncommon project for the summer. This is something that we have every summer where we just come in, clean up the theater, make sure things get put back to the yard, reorganize so that we're ready for a new season. Tim, were you one who?
I was gonna put out some dates and I just haven't got into it.
I'm gonna say dates to come on this,
Yeah, I will send them out in advance.
but there are furniture pieces in this room and that room that need to be moved. And they need to be moved before July 11th. And so,
possibly sooner.
Well,
that was the date I was given.
like I said before, Nancy and I have done a lot of work getting the library moved into the rug room so that everything would be organized there. But we need to get the large pieces downstairs. Because, and this is, originally somebody said, well, we can just move them into the auditorium. Yeah, I would really hate to be opening up basement ladies and have people have to work around the hutch from arsenic or the
Reversing it.
something like that. So, yeah, we need to get our volunteers, our strong men, because.
There are
Ladies,
there are
some
many
sense
pieces.
Very
Oh,
strong ladies.
sure, no, I'm gonna put it on the men. I'm putting it on
Not
the
that
men.
there's so many pieces, but on or about July 11th, for the contractors.
Let me put it to this way. Oh, and it almost got taken out by one of the white bookcases while we were moving it, so.
Tossed around.
That really, yeah.
The ceiling comes out, all this room, this wall goes away.
So obviously there are pieces that need to get moved, so, sooner rather than later. So I will send out an email, see if we can get Lisa to come in and move the furniture downstairs before July 11th. And then we can, I think it was really helpful to have a list of what needs to be done. Or tagging items,
We
exactly
can
what
try
happens.
and put the house, we can try and get the house to work.
I
I
wanna make
would-
sure that
I
our
would-
airbase volunteers get notified of the date, because they often will come in and help with stuff like that.
I will, is it July 23rd? There we go. I get the word out. It's Saturday.
For what?
Putting
Not, it
together
won't
new
be for
flags.
the furniture,
No,
for
putting together new
flats.
flags.
July 23rd. I don't have a problem at this point.
So, we can send it out to everybody,
Is
but,
that the day we're celebrating his birthday or something?
oh, that's right.
I don't know. State Fair Parade.
The to-do list for these two rooms are pretty easy. Empty them.
60.
16?
What goes, everything.
So
Yes,
anyway,
but
we'll
not
put it out.
just dump downstairs.
So that date, I'd like to have some people, especially those who have, worked with flats and stuff like that. We're gonna strip the old flats of all the canvas that we can, we're gonna dispose of everything that needs to go and rebuild the frame, set up jigs so we can get square flats and stuff like that, and stretch the, muslin and size it.
Okay, July 16th.
So if you have anybody who you think would be handy with that, please invite them along.
Yeah, and we'll send out,
Thomas
send out an
sent
email.
okay, it's in for Thomas. We'll figure out a way. All right. Moving on, Mass had made requests for grapes, and Summer Theater has made requests for suitcase. I know we have talked about this via email a little bit. Do you have any further discussion on either of these items?
Can't hear you.
Mass had made a request for grapes, and Summer Theater had made a request to use a suitcase.
Grapes or grapes?
Grapes.
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 The plastic,
The fake fruit.
Got it.
All right, do we have any discussion on these items? I did have one question, the bag that was the canvas bag.
I
wasn't
have
it?
no idea. I did not, Angie didn't connect with me. I have no idea what she's looking for.
Something that was used on the stuff that-
I believe it was a canvas bag. Is that something that is actually in our inventory, or was that a personal item?
But I'm not sure. Because I know there were, yes, but there were several things that I brought in. So I don't know whether she's thinking something that I brought in, or
I think we might have to do a little research on that,
Somebody
whether
needs
that was a personal item or whether that
who
was
made
something.
contact with Angie? That's what I wanna know.
Didn't Brittany receive the request?
Brittany?
That would be me. She reached out on Facebook. All I know is she wants to borrow a bag. She said there was one that was used during Anne Frank. That's literally all I know. I know she's also reached out in general on Facebook to her Facebook friends in a post. I don't know if she has received anything.
Have we had any follow-up at this point?
No,
Has she
because
contacted anybody?
nobody made the decision about whether or not she was borrowing it, and I wasn't going to reach out to her until we had some sort of a decision. That was the last thing I told her, was I would put it forward to the board and let her know when a decision was made.
Well,
So,
as far as I know, if we have it here, if it is an item that is actually here and not belonging to somebody else, then that would be fine, but she'd have to arrange for somebody to come and, pick it up and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, I know you're taking care of the grapes on Tuesday.
it's up to you guys, that's all I know.
Well, if
In
we have
general, I
it,
would really like to see us be able to accommodate if we can, if we can do it. So it's not to our detriment.
All right. Any other discussion? Questions? All right, we have a motion to allow Mass to use some prop grapes. All right.
I'll second.
Second from Lynn.
No.
All right,
I do have just make sure that we know who took them.
Yep. Things
And
have
stuff
to
like
be
that,
written
have
down.
recorded that we have it.
all right, all those in favor?
Okay.
All right, any opposed? Any abstain? Motion passes. All right, next request to, if we have it, for Summer Theater to borrow a canvas bag or suitcase to be documented. Do you have any motions? Ashley motion, no, that was for grapes.
Grapes for Matt.
Great.
These are two separate requests. Ashley motions, do we have a second on that motion? Second. All right. Putting any further discussion? All those in favor?
I,
All right. Any opposed? Any abstain?
And only because I wish I had a little bit more direct information.
All right, I believe the motion carries. There are two other things that I did forget to put on that, and that is on the new business, and that is my bad. The first one is Minoticon on August 14th. This is a convention on the base. We have done this before. They are requesting that we return. Was there a booth? Do you remember?
I have no knowledge, the piece of paper that we know about it is on your front door.
Okay. And I don't believe that was a booth. I think that was just an announcement of the convention.
Yeah, so I don't know. We might be able to get information from Sharon.
Yeah.
I can email Sharon.
Yeah, from last year. I know we did have, I can't think of his name now. Steve Bloom. Steve Bloom came out. I'm assuming that's all this has come out yet this year. Other than that, I don't know much. We did a few, two demonstrations. We did a fine demonstration, we did a music demo as well. Other than that, we just did some information.
I'll email Sharon about whether you need to boost the, and things like that. Maybe we can begin it for next month.
So if anyone has any other questions, please you could email them to me, just you can ask Sharon. Other than that, do we have any other discussion on the topic? All right. The next question of business. I was asked if we would like to be involved in the state fair program. Two people that I know are on the commission for setting it up. They said, if you want to do it, and get the application sent ASAP so that we don't get stuck at the tail end of this thing. I know I will not be in town for the state fair parade. I'll be in Wisconsin. So do we have any interest of being in the state fair parade?
You have a date. You know, you could do-
23rd of
The
July.
23rd of July. Yeah, Tuesday, Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, it's usually the day after the event.
I think that, personally, I think that the state, we've come up on it again, real, in a short notice window. If we really would like to participate in the state fair parade, Jackie would need to start in December, January timeframe, discussing it, figuring out what we're gonna do, how we're gonna theme it, get the application in, all those kind of things, so one, we can get a good spot, and two, we're prepared for it. And we have we get commitments from people. That's one of the hard things, is we tend to do ourselves all the time.
I think
Short notice
I think
things.
last time we did, there was 2 people in it. They drove the truck down the street and they threw candy out the window. So that was it.
So, it's a lot of, financial commitment, it's on a lot of. potential.
I think if it's,
One of the fundraising or other promotional discussions.
Yeah, that would be something that would definitely be for a promotional group. And it is something that I think would be a good thing to do, but if we're gonna do something like state fair, we also should look at the homecoming parades and the MSU homecoming. Because the very first time that I ever saw that there was, community theater in Minot was at the MSU homecoming parade, and it was Max. So, yeah, it's something I think we should think about participating in, but I think that there's
Maybe
just
the
too short of
23
time right now.
23 state fair parade, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, next year perhaps, and maybe the fall homecomings.
Well, let's table it then till January.
Okay.
That's why it's a table for
We're
January,
thinking
because,
about it, but let's make sure it gets caught up by
Yeah,
that
I
time.
think putting it as a tabled item for next year is a great idea, because I think we've actually discussed this before, and it was too close, and then it just got forgotten about.
I would say table till August, because if we decide to do homecomings,
And I think having a committee to set it up and group of people that we know are going to manage the idea.
what?
If you table it to August, you might miss out someone.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Waiting until August means you'll probably miss homecoming. Homecoming is usually September, October. That would give you like 8 months to plan.
I think it might.
Till July.
Yeah, now that I think about it, homecoming is in the fall, and it might be, even putting something together, that might be a little short. Notice.
homecoming might be a real good trial run, that costs are gonna be a lot smaller.
Yeah.
We could also do it for like costumes, so, like, you know, just like costumes.
And, you know, it's just getting the people stuff together. I mean, what it comes down to is you have a truck, you have a flatbed, you have people on it. At least you don't have to throw candy during homecoming.
Really awesome.
Just twice during the whole parade.
Yeah, 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 something like that, you know? Just trying to take out a little tip of it. And I think maybe this would be possibly an idea for an ad hoc committee to trial run it.
I messaged Nancy about what bag she needed. She said that she was up here with Holly this afternoon and he didn't have the bag that she needed. So
Okay.
That answers that.
it must have been a personal bag that was used for.
Well, I'm going to jump on that in that.
She's loaned down a bunch of stuff. I have, you know, she writes it down. I have three costumes that I'm still living with.
All right.
MSU's homecoming this year is October 13th.
Do they have do they list an entry fee or anything like that? Okay.
What was it, October?
13th through the 15th, so somewhere in that time frame.
So maybe we could look into more info on it. I'll look up and see if I can find more info on it and send you an email. All right, moving on. All right, let's get into organizational reports. Everyone's favorite topic, treasury and bookkeeping.
Treasury and bookkeeping. As of today, our checking accounts, we're sitting at $64,401.68. And I'll give you this one.
Well, I've got the ones from the first, and I go with the
They
first
didn't
of the month.
change much, okay.
I go with the first of the
Okay,
month.
we're at 103,517. Yes.
Sorry, that's our doorbell.
Yes, at my front door.
That's a very loud doorbell. Yeah.
I did just get another check for $1,000 for the renovation fund. From the Robert and Arlene, no, Laurel Weigel. Mandela. That just showed up this week. Our Bremer apartment account is slowly shrinking because it's all outgoes and not any income. It's an account that's left over from when the apartment building was turned over to us. It came with a checking account, and we've been using it to pay utilities. And that's all that really happens with it. So that's gradually diminishing. I think it's going to be $15 change in the petty cash. What's the balance? I did create a layout for a budget, a preliminary budget, which we will discuss at a later date. You're the one that's going to well, proofread it. Mostly we'll read it. This is just pulling off the stuff here. I'm pulling off all the data from the past year.
All I see is numbers. Means nothing.
Anything else?
That's basically it.
Okay, moving on, grants. Kathy, do we have any news on grants?
Well, we don't have any new grant money that came in. I'm sorry, I forgot to grab my agenda, even though I printed one out. So, do you have a thing I wanted permission for later on, or does that come up now?
The grant watch?
No.
No?
Well, we should talk about Grant Watch too, because we, Montford Players, paid for us to subscribe to Grant Watch for a year, and that's gonna come due in July. And so I need to know if the board is willing to extend that for another year. As a grant writer, I found it very helpful.
What's the cost on Grant Walk?
Good question. Ken, what's the cost on Grant Walk?
You should have told me you were gonna ask me this one.
I can't think of everything.
Honestly, I would have to go look at the previous records, I just don't know.
I think it was around 99, but don't quote me on that. How about, can we do an email vote on that one? I can send out the exact cost. Then we can do an email vote one way or the other. Would that work?
I think that would probably be okay.
Okay. Do you have an answer to my other question?
Is that the St. Joseph's Community Foundation?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were talking about something else, which I had on there, but we can bring that up. Kathy needs a reset of 4 minutes authorizing her to do so, to apply for funds from this year's St. Joseph's Community Foundation.
Last year we made $25,000 on that, and that did not include the 10,000 that John Fishput donated.
What kind of meeting notes do you need?
I just need notes that have affirmed that the board has given me permission to apply. So there
And this
needs
is,
to be a
this is the
motion.
twice blessed, correct?
Twice blessed.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Twice Blessed, for those who aren't aware, people make donations in our name to the Twice Blessed, and they will double that donation up to a specific amount. I believe last year was 17,000.
7,500.
7,500 last year. I'm
7,500.
gonna see if we can bump them up to 10.
So once we have reached that goal of 7,500, they double that amount. So we've received those donations plus the 7,500 from St. Joseph's. Any other questions?
Well, then we need a motion to,
Simple motion. Do we have a second? Grant seconds.
You can do something, Jen, I mean,
no, they both raised their hands.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed? Any abstained? All right, the motion passes. Kathy can apply for the St. Joseph Twice Blessed.
And when
I
you,
have a grant that I can apply for $1,500 for the children's workshop.
Oh.
I need to talk to people who are in charge of that before I fill out the application. Who should I speak to?
Well, Holly.
currently, we don't have anybody who is chairpersoning the committee officially for the summer, for any kind of summer activity. It was going to be Heather, but that has, the only person who has knowledge at this point would be Holly. But to the best of my knowledge, we don't have anything set up.
Okay, then I will not apply for the grant. If we want to have a kids workshop this summer and somebody wants to be in charge of it, then let me know.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'll assume that we're not going to do it this year. Ed, did I have anything else on the grant writing thing?
I don't believe so.
Okay, then I'm done.
All right, moving on to social media. I'm not sure if Brittany has anything to add. Okay,
We got a lot of outreach.
Brittany, would you like any updates on social media?
Oh,
Okay, oh, excellent. Brittany,
yeah,
take it,
so,
girl.
the crew, like, the starting rooster giveaway had 400 something
close
like
to
that,
that.
like a
That's
lot
crazy.
compared to all the other ones. Partly it might have been because it was crew, like a new school, but also because we partnered with starting rooster. So that got a lot of outreach. I did a behind the scenes, and it had on average 125 accounts used to post. The most was 193. Instagram behind the scenes posts of user
Just piggybacking on that, so we ran 2 giveaways for Clue. The one with the Starving Rooster giveaway portion as well definitely went over better. So if we can get another downtown business to partner with us for that giveaway, I think it really sells it, and it gives them that opportunity to kind of have like a night out on the town, have that date night or night out with their girls or whatever the case may be. And maybe, we reach out to other places off the vine, the Blue Rider, Ebenezer. Yep, any of the downtown businesses. I would say specifically ones that are going to be open in the evening only because then you can sell it kind of as like dinner and a show or a show and drinks, something like that. But we had so much traction on that giveaway, which is amazing. I will hopefully at the next meeting be able to kind of give like full insight into the ads and the giveaway information, because I didn't have that during the annual meeting, but I know that it was just like unreal how much interaction we had because of those things. I would like to run some promos for the upcoming season, starting in July. An email is going to go out to the directors for next season to send me information about the show that they're directing, and like any audition dates, any information that I can share. I want to start posting those in July, so July 1st, and then every Friday in July, post another one of our shows just to kind of get people excited about it. Some of the shows are really unknown, and so we can start kind of getting the buzz going. Now, I think that's going to help get us more people into the theater when the show rolls around.
Question, are
Yes.
you familiar with, or did you have a chance to look at that thing on Substack?
I have not had a chance to look at it, and I know nothing about it. The one I did glance at it very briefly, and it seems to be catering towards people who are writers.
You can post pretty much anything. on
Yeah.
it. You can post video, audio, text, whatever. It's kind of a cross between Facebook and MailChimp.
Right. I would
So you have
be curious
subscribers.
how popular it is before we kind of go down that road. I know we had
It's
talked
free to
about
set up,
doing,
which is one thing.
we talked about trying to do Patreon, but our Patreon pool is so small, that it just didn't make sense to pay money for somebody else to not even run something for us.
Substack is ad supported, I believe, so you don't actually pay, you don't have to pay for it up front. You can also sell subscriptions to it.
Right. I did see
Pay
like
to
we
read
could
them.
have the paid stuff. I was
I'm
like,
not sure we're
man,
gonna
we
get
don't, I don't
there.
think we want to go into the paid stuff.
Probably
I think our patrons would be like, no thanks. But I didn't get to dig too far into it. What I did see was like, are you a writer? This might be for you. And I was like, well, we're not. So maybe some more
It's
information is needed.
Amazing the number of things that are out there on Substack.
Cool.
So,
It's amazing.
I mean, anything you can imagine is there.
And the statement.
That's all I got.
So, thank you. All right, box office, Ken.
We're set up, ready to go for the season. I have got, had a couple of little issues I had to adjust with the seating layout, but I think I've got that straightened out now. And ready to go. So tickets will go on sale July 1st.
Kathy, you had a question?
Do you have enough people that you feel are trained to help you with box
There,
office?
thank you. I need some people for box office. Particularly during the first show. Directing the show and running box office at the same time, not a good idea.
I can say this as a box office is that it's pretty easy to use. It has helped you are computer literate. So if that's something you have an interest in, like sometimes I'll just come in and I'll run box office for a little bit and I'm done.
So if you're interested, contact Ken.
Kind of things like
There's one other aspect of this, and I think this sort of relates, I don't know if it was on the agenda, but on the list that you have, Lynn, positions. And that is, voicemails. It would, when someone calls and they leave a voicemail, it gets emailed to someone. Lately, it's been me.
I get them too, but 10 usually uses it.
Some of
I
them,
get it.
some of them are people that I know because they've been calling for ever since we started, so I recognize their phone numbers. So I tend to take them. But basically what I'm looking for is someone who is willing to take those emails, act on them, and return them.
Just to make sure that you don't have any doubling up on checking emails, maybe starting a Google document on what one is answered. And so when it does get answered, you put it on the Google document. That way, you answer it and then I come up by it, and I get them word, and go, oh, hey, look, there's voicemails. Let me get back to them. I know I tried to get a hold of Mayor a few
Oh,
times
yeah.
and hers, and you'd already got it to him, so.
Sending it. Basically, yeah, if the person who takes the call has a login, can go in and sign in and make the reservation, usually reservations, on the spot, that would be good. I also have it set up so that when there is a sale, a ticket sold or a reservation made on the box office, I get an email that was done. So that's useful. So we'll be looking for a volunteer in the fall.
All right, shows, past and upcoming shows and events. So, okay, do you have any, you've already gave us some information on
I've
what
given
you're.
you some information. I think this is gonna be a big show, and I want to promote the heck out of it. So, any and all ideas, this is the only show this year, I believe, that's gonna have a Thursday performance. So I'd really like to come up with some ideas for how to promote a Thursday show to get people here. Because it's based on the book Growing Up Lutheran, it fits really well with the Lutheran churches. I found 52 of them in the phone book. They're all getting a letter.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
have to say
add
hour.
Thursday performances. I was involved with both of them until after that had Thursday nights with Sparks for both
Yes.
Alice and Cleo.
And I
So-
think that with a little work, I think we can fill those up. If we have, yes,
It's been my experience that what churches have is bulletin boards.
Yep.
Churches have bulletin boards, big or small, and they put up stuff on those boards, and everybody looks at it when they come to church, whatever their denomination is. So a letter is fine, but if you want them to promote it, then
A
what they're
poster.
gonna need is that little poster.
they'll get a letter and a poster. That's the
Okay,
plan.
just saying.
If we can get
If anybody wants to
5 people
know,
from each church, would be good.
Blue came up with a profit of $6,458 and change. Details are in the Dropbox. There were a total of 1,016 attendees. Time. The second week was definitely significantly better than the first week. And sadly, the Thursdays did not populate on the level that was expected.
But we didn't specifically promote.
Yeah, well, the Starving Rooster thing was Thursday only, so there was promotion. I question some of the Thursday activity. I know many of the cast members made comment that they were very, very tired by the time that first show happened. I know from the point of view of getting volunteers and working the concession stand, the 4 days was a bit of a pressure. And so we need to see what happens with Basement Ladies, but if it does not populate, we should rethink it.
I think it's a fair assessment. Moving on, lobby facade renovation. Kathy, is there any news on the lobby facade?
Well, yes, there is news on the lobby facade. So, one of the requirements that the city notified us of, after the city council agreed to provide MRP with a 10-year forgivable loan, is that we had to do an asbestos check to make sure that there wasn't asbestos, that had to be handled in an appropriate way. So Akron and Nestle have someone that can do those inspections. They did the inspection. Less than 2% of it's in the caulking around the air conditioner, and then some of the grout has asbestos in it. It does not require the really expensive, time-consuming type of work. It has to be double bagged and marked, and then it can go in a landfill. So the contractor is able to do that without any additional monies. And, so we're good to go.
Thank you, Kathy.
My guess is that everything that they need to remove will fit in one direction.
There you go.
Yeah,
All they have to do is double bag it and tag it. And the Minot landfill is capable.
Moving on to committee reports. Finance committee met last Tuesday on the 7th. Thank you for busy. Some of the old business, as normal, notes from last meeting. I clarified that the notes should be sent to all committee members and placed in the drop box. Oh, sorry. We reviewed the financial reports in both May and June since we did not meet in May. And any questions were sent to the treasurer via email, and those have already answered prior to the meeting. We also will forward any additional questions to the treasurer as usual. I did challenge the committee to try and establish some goals for us this year. It's not something we've done before, but one of my goals is gonna, for this year, what has already been getting members on the board and pushing for some attainable goals that we can do when it comes to fundraising. I know we did 10,000. How much did we fundraise? Do we have a note on that from last year?
Yeah.
I don't have anything
you
to-
have it on your prospective budget.
On the budget, the last fiscal year, $82,000.
So we raised,
That's for both the capital campaign and others.
and
No, that's capital.
that's capital.
Oh,
Do we
just
have-
capital.
do we have anything for general?
Johnny said send out an annual fundraising report. I don't know if that's what you're
Yes.
In May of 2021, we made $427 from starting this year. And then in March of 2022, we made $325 from subscriptions. And then throughout the whole, like Jersey Mike thing, we made 515. And then the pins, we made 460.
So,
Yeah, sponsorships and donations. A total of about $8,700
okay.
for the fiscal year.
So we easily $90,000 total, and both for capital campaign and for general fundraising. So, and I think that's a great number, and, maybe challenge us to beat that number. I mean, it's something that we've done once. Let's see, let's say it's not a fluke, and let's do it again and see if we can get past that. So we discussed the need for an operational show budget, which is something we've discussed before, looking at show budgets. We haven't done an operational budget, so we have planned to have a meeting at the end of this month.
Can I make a suggestion that we?
Yeah,
Move
move
things
along.
along.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're calling for central take all of yours.
Okay.
For the next 7 minutes.
Yeah, the one thing I really wanted to get out was that we do have a meeting, we set up a meeting to look at operational budgets on June 27th at 6:30 here. So anybody who wants to do that is more than welcome to attend. I can email out the rest of these notes so we can move along. All right, moving
Oh, it's
forward.
already in the Dropbox.
Yes, it is in the Dropbox, but I don't think everybody has access to it. So, the building repairs, we do need a new chair for building repairs. Ken and Tim are currently on that committee. So if anyone is interested in that, please send out
Or if you wanna
an email,
step
let me
up.
know, or if you want to step up.
And said-
Tim's gonna chair the committee? All
But
right.
in other words, now we need some new members.
Yes, we do like to have at least 3 members on the committee. So, House Committee is currently Nancy and Lynn. Are there any notes?
The only note is that, House Committee's been trying to meet with the repair committee to come up with repairs, fixes, cleaning, whatever, sooner than later. And we will be needing to order paper goods for the season. I will get a list of what we need to use. Paper goods, toilet paper, stuff like that. And I'll get that list to you.
All right. Moving on, the concessions committee. Lynn, do you have any notes for concessions committee?
Yeah, please help. Right now, it kind of evolved most of the time, it's been me and Brittany. And this past year, the two of us pretty much manned the concession station every night for all shows. And whereas it's okay, it is tiring. It also is very tiring, yeah, it is also very tiring being the only person that runs out and picks up the soda and the cookies and stuff. So this chairperson is looking for committee members. And if you're interested, you can come and email me.
Actually, would you like to be on the
Ashley.
concession? All right.
But best thing is to email me and I will go over with you what I would like to see accomplished. Yeah, done.
All right, newsletter website, Ken, do you guys have anything for newsletter? Do you need any statement? Do you need an article or something?
I'm always looking for.
I am working on a press release / article, and Ken will be able to prioritize this for the newsletter on the change in board leaders and membership. So when I get the content done, I have now pictures of all the officers. Yay! Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I just missed half of it, that's all. I'm dumb.
Oh, I said I'm working on
You
an
gotta go.
article. That Ken can
Article.
steal from this article. It's gonna be a press release, but he can steal some from it for the newsletter on the change in officers as well as the new members.
Okay.
Do we have anything on youth programs? Are you aware of any?
Holly was mentioning something about Halloween. I don't know if it was a youth program or just MRT doing something for Halloween in general. But before she left, she started mentioning something about Halloween.
Okay.
So,
Well, ask if you have Holly's contact, ask her if she can send us some info.
yeah.
And I know she's gonna be looking for more committee members, so again, if you're interested,
Yeah.
email Holly,
And then
make that contact.
youth program wise, I don't know if it's too late to do something this coming, but because like you have done it like every year.
We have,
So I don't know if that's still an option. I would definitely be
It's
willing to
not
help
too
out.
late.
So I would definitely be willing to help out.
At this point, I would have to wait until like August,
Yeah, that's
to be able to do enough promo on it.
So,
And
and
probably could be determined by the July meeting.
yeah.
I was working with Heather on it, and I am happy to continue.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it in June, which was the original plan, not
Yeah.
with school ending and them leaving suddenly and all that, so.
Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
All right, Trinity, do you have any progress on fundraising?
We need probably more people.
Okay, and I believe doing.
Than me.
Yeah, I believe doing a brainstorming session possibly,
Yes.
since I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to get to that idea tonight. Possibly setting up a brainstorming session.
Yeah, because we had
I know I have
that.
ideas, I know other people have ideas, so I will send out an email and see if we can.
Come a date. Get a date.
Because we didn't do that many fundraising.
Tenant building,
Nothing.
I'm sorry if I cut you off, the other day, Ashley and I did notice that there was some water on the floor out by the garage where it connects to the building. I scoured the building, looked for any leaks, I wasn't able to find any, I believe it might be some condensation on the bricks, from this time of year.
I do have one
We have
quick,
leaks in the garage roof.
one quick note on the, tenant building. I was approached by, I believe it's the office manager from St. Leo's. And with some of the upstairs windows, the window was up and pigeons would be perching on there and making a mess below. I did go up and pull down the windows.
How are they getting up?
No, it's with the storm window up, there's a ledge about that wide on the outside of the window
There's
sill.
perching
And
on.
the pigeons would sit there and they would do their business down the side of the building.
Not into the building.
Not into the building, but on the outside, which is driving the St. Leo people crazy.
Okay, I'll see if maybe we can just get some trees back or something like that.
I closed them.
Okay.
There's spikes on one, but the rest, I couldn't close that one, but the rest of them are closed.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Don't worry about it right now.
Okay, just an announcement that we are doing the Future League Bill Scrub on the 18th. And the contract for this facade has been signed, as you have on the council, as Kathy has already mentioned. We have table items for the Regency and by the Lieutenant Building. I don't believe there's any movement on that. So pending any further discussion, next meeting is going to be on July 11th at 6:30. All right.
Sometime I want to talk about committees, but not today.
All right.
And that's it.
I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting adjourned at 7:57.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.